conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So we started discussing about the system workflows, right? In the previous session, we have seen like how we can implement a system workflow. And we also have created a simple system workflow, and we have seen uh, what are the trigger points that we have on a system workflow. So how many triggers we have? We have 5 triggers, right? On creation of a record, we can trigger on updation of a field, on assignment of a owner, and on deletion of a record, on status change. So these are the 5 triggers that we have. Let me open the existing uh, the process or system workflow that we created. So let me open the settings only true. Okay, it is taking some time. Okay, let's click on settings, processes. So yesterday we created one process to update the job title. Okay, see, this is the system workflow. Okay, okay, so this is your system workflow. Okay, so here we have 5 triggers. Okay, and here we, in the previous session, we also have seen how to add different types of conditions, if and else conditions. Okay, and we also have seen, okay, let me deactivate. We also have seen different options, like creation of a record or an update or updation of a record. Okay, see, when I click on add step, you can see you can add a condition. See, in the previous session we have seen how we can add a different types of conditions. Okay, so what is the next one? Wait condition. What is this wait condition? So using wait condition, you can pause the workflow for some time. Let's say if I click on wait condition. Okay, so this is a wait condition. Wait until. Let's say if I provide any condition here. Okay, let's change claim. So let's say type of defect equals to, so I'm giving the type of defect value as damaged. Okay, let's click on save and close. Okay, wait until type of defect equals to damaged. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? Let's say if any record, let's say if any record, okay, okay, let's go to claims, click on claims, let's open any claim. So when this system workflow will get triggered, what is the trigger point that we have here? So this system workflow is getting triggered on change of a field. Which field? On change of contact field. So it is getting triggered on change of contact field. So let me change the contact. So here you have a contact and I am changing it to RAM. Okay, so I am keeping the type of defect as quality issue. Okay, let's click on save. Okay, let's click on save and close. So what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? So now your system workflow will trigger, and what is the type of defect value? It is quality issue right now, right? It is quality issue, but I have written wait condition, wait until type of defect equal to damaged. So it will execute all these steps and it will come here. Right now, what is the type of defect value? It is quality issue, it is not a damaged value. So your system workflow will wait until the type of defect changes from quality issue to damaged. Right now, it is in waiting state because the type of defect is quality issue here. It is not damaged. So it will be in waiting state. Let's say if I come back to the record and if I modify it to damaged and if I click on save and close, then what will happen? This condition will satisfy and it will go inside this condition. This condition will be satisfied, and whatever the step that we are adding, creation or updation or any operation that you are mentioning here, that will be performed. So basically, wait until will be used to pause the system workflow until the condition is satisfied. So I have given the condition here, type of defect equal to damaged. Until this condition is satisfied, your system workflow will be in waiting state. Okay, so once the condition is satisfied, it will go inside and it will execute. Okay, so that is the meaning of wait until. Okay, wait condition. So we have seen creation of a record in the previous session. You can create a record using system workflow. We have already seen uh, updation also we have seen. See, this is the update statement. In case if you want to update any record, you can use update statement, update record. Okay, so what is the next one that you have? Assign record. See, when I click on this assign record, assigning means what? Assigning means changing the owner from one owner to another owner. See, this is assign step. So this is claim. Okay, so now claim, I want to assign it to, let's say I want to assign this to BAP. What is the meaning of this? Assign claim to BAP. What is the meaning of it? Changing the owner. Changing the owner. Who is the owner right now? Dharani. So if I say assign claim to BAP, which means that I wanted to change the owner from Dharani to BAP. Assignment means changing the owner. So if I want to change the owner from one owner to another owner, then I have to use assign statement. Okay, assigning one owner to another owner. So that is called assignment. Okay. So what do we have? Yeah, we have send email. What is the importance of this send email? Let's click on send email. So you can also send an email from system workflow. See, let's say you want to send an email to customer or you want to send an email to contact. You can send the email through your system workflow. Okay, see send email. So you can click on set properties, click on set properties. So you want to send an email, right? So from whom you want to send? Let's say I'm selecting Dharani here. Okay, from me I wanted to send out an email to, let's say I wanted to send out an email to HCL company. Okay, so I am adding HCL here. HCL will be having an email address. Subject, so I'm keeping the subject like issue is resolved, something like this. Subject, and this is the description. Hi HCL, hi HCL team. Your issue is resolved. Thanks. Thanks for reaching out. Okay. Regards. Regards any team. Let's say if you are working for AirAsia. Okay. Then AirAsia team. Okay, so you can also draft the email like this. You can add from to CC subject and the description. If you want to add any attachment, you can also add the attachment. You can click on this attachment, choose file. You can also add any attachment. Okay, let's click on this, add attachment, attach. So if you want to attach any file, you can also attach. See, this is the attachment. So this is how you can uh, send out an email to any particular user or any particular account or contact. You can also pass the dynamic values. Let's say if you want to pass the claim number, okay, let's say claim number. Okay, I want to pass the claim number. See here, you can pass the dynamic value. These are the dynamic values. Claim, you have claim number. You can click on add, you can pass the claim number here. So this is the dynamic value. Claim number is the dynamic value. Like that, all the claim related information, if you want to pass it, you can pass it. Let's say if you want to pass the claim cost. Okay, cost of claim. Let's say if you want to pass the cost of claim, you can simply type, you can simply select the uh, yeah, cost of product. Okay, you can remove this, add this cost of product. Okay, so if you want to pass the cost of product, you can simply click on this cost of product. Okay, so whatever the claim number and cost of product, see this is the claim number, right? This claim number will be replaced here. And what is the cost? 3000. 3000 will be replaced here. So these are the dynamic values. Whatever this particular record is having, that record related information will be populated onto the email. Okay, so this is how you can send out an email to any particular user or account or contact from system workflow. Using system workflow, you can send out an email to uh, other users. Okay, other users or accounts or contacts. So that is send email option. Using send email option, you can send out an email. So send email is done. Start child workflow. We will discuss about this in few minutes. Okay, start child workflow. So perform action. What is this perform action? Let's click on perform action. So you can, so there is a concept called actions. See, when I am talking about server side coding, you have system workflows, you also have actions. Actions is a separate topic. Okay, system workflows is one topic, actions are separate topic. See, if you want to call an action from system workflow, you can use this particular step, perform action. Using perform action, you can call an action from system workflow. How? You can simply click on perform action. When you click on perform action, it will show the list of actions. These are the available actions right now in the system. So you can select any particular action that you want to call. That's it. If you want to pass any properties, you need to click on set properties and you have to pass the uh, required parameter. So this parameter is expected. So you need to pass that particular parameter. So this is how you can call an action from system workflow. So system workflow is separate topic, action is separate topic. If you want to call an action from system workflow, you have to use this. What you have to use? You have to use perform action step. Okay, and what is this one? Status, change status. Click on change status. There is another option called change status. See, this is change status. See how many statuses that we have. We have only two statuses, active or inactive. See right now this is active status. That is why I'm able to modify. I'm able to modify the field. I'm able to modify the record. Let's say if I deactivate this, let's deactivate this record. I don't see deactivate. Okay, so let's click on claims. Let's deactivate this second record. Click on deactivate, deactivate. Now, if I go to the inactive claims, see this is deactivated. When I open this, see what is the status of it? It is inactive status. So you have two statuses. Either you can make it active or you can make it inactive. Okay. So let's say if you want to make a record active, then you can select here active status. Let's say if you want to make a record inactive, then instead of active status, you need to select inactive. So by using change status option or by using change status step, you can make a claim or you can make a record active or you can make a record inactive, active, inactive. Okay. So when you click on add step, you have an option called change status. Using change status, you can make a record active or you can make a record inactive. So what is the last option that you have? Stop workflow. Stop workflow. So let's click on stop workflow. So this is stop workflow. See, you can stop the workflow in two ways. Okay, you can stop the workflow in two ways. You can stop the workflow using success statement. Okay, you can stop the workflow with the success status, or you can stop the workflow with the cancelled status. Let's say if you stop the workflow with success status, it will not show any exception or it will not show any error message. Simply it will be stopped. Okay, so let's say, let me remove all this, assign delete, action delete. I do not want all this. Send email delete. Okay, now you have update statement. See, if type of defect is quality issue, I am updating the job title as quality issue, right? After that, I wanted to stop the workflow. So I can add the stop workflow stop workflow with the status of succeeded, because I want to close the execution. Okay, even if you do not have the stop workflow, it will be closed. But if you want to externally close the workflow, you can use stop workflow option. It will be stopped. Let's say if you want to throw an exception to the user. Okay, let's say I wanted to throw an exception to the user. Then you can stop the workflow with the cancelled status. See, the stop workflow with the status of cancelled. So now I am passing the message, status message, error message. Okay. Type of defect should not be quality issue. Okay, so this is the error message that I wanted to show it to the user. Okay, let's click on save and close. See, I want to stop the workflow with the status of cancelled, and I wanted to show an error message like type of defect should not be quality issue. Let's say if type of defect is quality issue. Okay, so let's remove this also. See, if type of defect equals to quality issue, then I wanted to throw an error message to the user. Okay, then if I want to throw an error message to the user, then which step I have to select? Stop workflow with the status of cancel, and you have to enter the error message that you want to show it to the user. Okay, let's check this. Okay, let's save this. So I want to convert this to a real-time workflow. Okay, if it is a background, so there are two types of system workflows: real-time workflow and background workflow. Okay, if it is a background workflow, error will not be shown to the user. If it is a real-time workflow, error will be shown to the user. Okay, that is why I am converting this to a real-time workflow. Okay, we will discuss about real-time workflow and background workflows in few minutes. Okay, so now I converted this to a real-time workflow. Save it, activate. Let's click on activate. Errors in the execution. Okay, yeah, so you no need this statement. So what I am doing here, let's say if type of defect equal to quality issue, I wanted to show an error message to the user. I want to stop the workflow and show the error message. So let's click on activate. Okay, now I am activating it. Okay, now I activated it. See, now let's go back to the climb, open the climb. Now I wanted to change the type of defect to quality issue. If I change it to quality issue, it should throw an exception. First, my system workflow is getting triggered on change of contact. So let's change the contact first. I changed the contact. Now I am changing the type of defect to quality issue. Okay, so let's click on save. Now you can see business process error. What is the error that you are seeing? Type of defect should not be quality issue. So this is coming from where? This is coming from system workflow. You can click on show details, download log. In the download in the log file, you can see from where this error is coming. See, this is the error message. Type of defect should not be issue. It is coming from where? See, it is coming from a sync workflow, system workflow. What is the workflow? Update job title of contact. See, this is your system workflow. Update job title of contact. From here, we are throwing an exception. What exception? See, stop workflow with the status of cancelled. See, you are passing the same error message. Type of defect should not be quality issue. In the log file also, you can see the same error message. Type of defect should not be quality issue. Okay, so if you want to stop or if you want to throw any error message to the user, you need to use stop workflow step and you need to select the status as cancelled and you have to pass the value. Okay, if you want to throw any error message to the user, you have to use stop workflow option and you need to set the status as cancelled and you have to pass the error message, and you need to run the system workflow in synchronous mode. If you run your workflow in asynchronous mode, let's say let's deactivate it. Now you are receiving the error message, right? Now I got the error message because this system workflow is running in synchronous mode. Let's convert to background workflow. See, let's convert this to background workflow. Okay, background workflow means asynchronous workflow. So if you convert this system workflow into background workflow. So now it is background workflow. Let's activate it. If you convert this into a background workflow, even though you have a error message here, now I am stopping the workflow with the status of cancelled. Even though you have a error message, even though you are stopping the system workflow with the status of cancelled, error message will not be shown to the user. See, now let me open a different claim. Let's open this claim, or let's open this particular claim. See, now I am changing the contact to Venkat and the type of defect to quality issue. By right, it now the type of defect is quality issue, right? It shouldn't allow us to save. Now when I click on save, it got saved. See, our system workflow got executed. You can go to background process and you can check our system workflow should have executed. Let's wait for some time. It should execute. See, your system workflow got triggered and it is waiting for resources. Refresh, in progress, cancelled. See, it is cancelled because you stopped the workflow with the status of cancelled. Let's open the system workflow. Okay, so this is your system workflow and you can click here. Okay, now see here. Now the type of defect is quality issue and it is going here and it is stopping the workflow with the status of cancelled. Okay, so that is why. So this is background workflow, right? So since it is a background workflow, you will not see the error message. If it is a real-time workflow or synchronous workflow, you can see the error message on the record. Okay, so this is how you can, if you want to show any error message to the user, you can use stop workflow option. Okay, so that is stop workflow. So let's deactivate. So you have a last step that I wanted to discuss. Okay, let's deactivate first. Okay, let's deactivate. The, these are like these are trial instances, no? This kind of stupid issues that it will throw sometimes. See, it is not a valid error, it is showing some stupid errors which is showing up. So for deactivate, it shouldn't throw any exception. See, it is saying that cannot start the operation because there is another import running at this moment.
Mm.
Okay, leave it. Okay, leave it. Okay, let me create one more. Okay, so yeah, so there is another option. So let me open any existing workflow that I have. Okay, update salary of an employee. So this is another system workflow, right? So this is another system workflow. See, I want to, okay, let's delete everything. Okay, see, when I click on add step, there is one option here which I wanted to highlight: start child workflow. So there is an option called start child workflow. So what is the importance of this? Okay, let's say let's say you have let's say you have two workflows. Okay, let's say you have two workflows. What is the first workflow? Update salary of an employee. So this is first workflow. And what is the second workflow? Okay, let's say I have a another. Let me create one more. Update salary of an employee. uh, create create contact contact record. So let's say this is also another workflow. And entity, let's select it as contact entity. Okay, I want to create a record using this system workflow. So let's click on OK. Okay, let's click on save. So how many system workflows I have right now? I have two system workflows. Okay, so I have two system workflows. What are those? First one is update salary of an employee. Second one is create contact record. Let's say once I update the salary of an employee, I want to create contact record. So basically, eh, I want to call this particular system workflow. This is system workflow 1 and this is system workflow 2. So I want to call system workflow 2 from system workflow 1. Okay, I want to call this create contact record from update salary of an employee. So I want to call this particular system workflow from this system workflow. Then what should I do? So I want to call this one, right? I want to call this one in this. So I want to declare this one as a child workflow. Child workflow. Okay, I want to call this particular system workflow in this. So whichever the workflow that you wanted to call, you need to make that workflow as child workflow. How to make a workflow as child workflow, I'll show you. Okay, so this is my system workflow: create contact record. So I am adding, let's click on add step, create record. I wanted to create which record? Contact record, let's say. I want to create contact record. Set properties. I want to set the first name, last name, etc. So job title, I wanted to set it as software. Okay. So account name, I wanted to give it as like any account, HCL. Email, uh, ram@gmail.com. Any email. Okay. So do we have first name, last name, etc.? First name. Okay, you have first name here. First name as, now I wanted to create a contact. So Ram, uh, K. Okay, so last name is K. So I wanted to create this contact. Let's click on save and close. Now I am creating a contact record using this particular system workflow. Okay, this is my system workflow. I do not want to I do not want to use any triggers here. So I am not using any triggers. Scope, I am setting it as organization. Okay, I am not using any triggers here. I want to call this particular system workflow from another workflow. So this create contact record, this is one system workflow. I want to call the system workflow from this. Okay, that is why I am making this workflow as child workflow. How to make this workflow as child workflow? So you can click on it. See here, you have an option here as a child workflow available to run. Under available to run, you have an option called as a child process. You can select this option. When I select this option, it will run as a child workflow. It will be it will be converted as a child workflow. Now this is child workflow. So let's save this workflow. Now I saved it and then activate it. Now I have a system workflow. Now I have a system workflow that is create contact record, and it is a child workflow. Now I want to call this child workflow from parent from another system workflow. Now I want to call the system workflow from another workflow. So let me open this workflow. Update salary of an employee. So update salary of an employee. This is another system workflow. Okay, this is another system workflow and which is getting triggered on change of which field? On change of annual revenue. Okay, so it is getting triggered on change of annual revenue field on account. Okay, so when it is getting triggered, what should I do? I want to call that system workflow. Okay, remove these steps. Remove this one also. So now I want to call the create contact record system workflow from this particular system workflow. So let's click on add step. See here you have a start child workflow option. Click on start child workflow option. Now I want to start a child workflow. So this is related to contact entity, right?
Yes.
Uh, do we have, yeah, we have primary contact. Let's click on primary contact and let's click on see here you can see create contact record. You can select this. So what am I doing here? What am I doing here? I am in which system workflow? I am on update salary of an employee. This is my system workflow. From this system workflow, I am calling this child workflow. This is create contact record. This is another system workflow. Okay. So from one system workflow, I am calling another system workflow. Okay. Using which option? Using start child workflow option. So using start child workflow option, you can call one system workflow from another system workflow. Okay. So, but you need to declare one system workflow as a child workflow. If you do not declare it as a child workflow, then you cannot see that workflow here. So when you click on such icon, it is only showing one workflow, right? Because we declared this as a child workflow. If we don't declare it as a child workflow, it will not be shown here. So you must declare one workflow as a child workflow to call that from the parent. Okay, so that is the importance of start child workflow. Using start child workflow option, you can call the system workflows internally. Okay, so that's all we have on the options that we are showing up here. See here, we discussed about each and every option which is showing up here. Okay, now I just wanted to tell you the most important difference. Okay, important thing on the system workflow. Okay, see, there are two types of system workflows. Okay, see, uh, two types of two types of system workflows. we have two types of system workflows. Okay, so what is the first type? First type of system workflow is uh,
Background.
synchronous, synchronous or a real time workflow. Okay, this is first type. What is the second type?
Background.
Background or asynchronous, asynchronous workflow. Okay, so you have two types of system workflows. Okay, you have two types of system workflows, and the first one is synchronous workflow or a real-time workflow. You can call it as a real-time workflow or you can call it as a synchronous workflow. Both are same. Second one is background workflow or asynchronous workflow. Both are same. Okay. See, what is the basic difference? What is the difference between these two? See, synchronous workflow will run immediately. Synchronous workflow will run immediately and show the result. Okay, synchronous workflow will run immediately and show the result. Okay, when we have to use the synchronous workflow, let's say if you want to show an error message. See, when we have to go for synchronous workflow, if you want to show any error message to the user, we can go for synchronous workflow. Okay, basically synchronous workflows will not take time. Immediately it will run and show the result. And when we have to go for most of the cases, let's say if you want to show any error message to the users, you can go for synchronous workflows. So what about the background? So background workflows will will be run by will be run by async process, async service. Okay, so there is an asynchronous service. Okay, so there is a CRM asynchronous service. Okay, so all these background workflows will be run by the asynchronous service. So all the background processes will or asynchronous workflows will be run by the async services. So background processes will take some time to show the result. So it will take some time to show the result. Okay, it will take some time to show the result. Okay, so let's say if you want to show an error message to the user, you can't show it. You can't show it in the background workflow. Okay, so error messages can't be shown using asynchronous workflows. Okay, error messages cannot be shown using asynchronous workflows. If you want to show an error message, you have to go for synchronous. If you want to show error messages cannot be shown using background workflows. Okay, so background workflows will take some time to run, but synchronous workflows will run immediately and show the data. See, what is the importance of background workflows? Why we need to go for background workflows even if it is taking some time? Let's say if you have a big workflow and you no need to wait for the result. Let's say I want to send out an email. Let's say I want to send out an email to the user. Okay, on creation of a record. Let's say when I create a claim, immediately I want to send out an email to the particular contact. Okay, that is your requirement. Let's say when I click on new, see, now I am creating a claim. When I create a claim, immediately if I want to send out an email, so Sai, I am selecting the contact as Sai, defect as quality issue, cost is like 5,000, date of purchase today, something like this I selected. Okay, now I am clicking on save. When I click on save, I want to send out an email. I want to send out an email to this particular contact which is showing up here, Sai. So in this case, right, you can go for implementing background workflow or asynchronous workflow. So you no need to wait for the email to send it to the user, right? So the best way is to run this workflow in the background or asynchronous mode, because even if it is taking some time to send out an email, there is no problem. But in which case we will go for synchronous. Let's say you want to see the result immediately. So when I click on save, I want to show some result. I want to see the status of claim, what it is. I want to see the result immediately. In that case, you can go for synchronous or real time workflow. Or I want to show an error message. Let's say if anybody select the type of defect as damaged, when I click on save, I want to stop the creation. If type of defect is damaged, I want to stop the creation. Then in that case, what you can do, you can go for synchronous workflow. You can run it in synchronous mode, and you can stop the workflow using stop workflow with the cancelled status and show the error message. Okay. So now I will show you how to convert a workflow into background mode or real time mode. Okay. So let's go to the existing system workflow that we have. Let's see if I can open the one which we have. Deactivate. Okay, now I can deactivate. See here. Uh, See now, if I ask you whether it is a background workflow or real-time workflow, what is the workflow? What is the type of workflow that you are seeing on the screen? This is system workflow, right? Will it be a background or will it be a real-time workflow?
background,
It is background workflow. If I ask you whether it is a background workflow or synchronous workflow, you need to find out this particular option. See here, this particular option is checked. What is this option? Run this workflow in the background. Run this workflow in the background, which means that if it is checked, it is background workflow. If it is not checked, it is real time workflow. Okay, so you need to identify this particular option. If this particular option is checked, which means that it is background workflow or asynchronous workflow. If it is not checked, which means that it is real-time workflow or synchronous workflow. Now it is background workflow. I want to show you the difference. Okay, let's say uh, okay, fine. So let's remove this step. Okay, here I am adding an update statement, update record. So if type of defect is quality issue, I want to set the contact job title. I want to set the contact job title to quality issue. Quality issue. Okay. Save and close. Okay, now I will tell you the logic. See, I am checking the condition first. If type of defect is quality issue, then if claim type of defect is quality issue, then I am updating the contact job title to quality issue. If type of defect is damaged, I am updating the contact job title to damaged. If type of defect is expired, I am updating the contact job title to expired. Okay, so this is my logic. Depending on the type of defect, job title will be updated. Okay, so now let's save this. Now, which type of workflow is it? Is it a background or real time?
background,
background,
It is background because you can see that this checkbox is checked. If it is checked, it is background. Okay. So let's activate this. Now I am running in background mode. I just wanted to show you the difference. Now it is activated. Now it is running in background mode. It is asynchronous workflow. So let's test this. So now when will my workflow get trigger when I change the contact, right? Let's change the contact. So now I am changing the contact to Venkat. Okay, now I changed it to Venkat. Now what is the type of defect? It is damaged. Let's click on save. So now the type of defect should be damaged, right? Let's go to this particular contact. Now I just clicked on contact. Contact job title should be damaged. See, contact job title is damaged. Okay, but it will take some time. So let's change it to RAM and type of defect quality issue. Okay, click on save. Immediately, let's go to RAM record. Click OK. What is the job title right now?
Number, claim number.
Claim number.
Claim number. Why is it showing claim number? I selected it as what? Expired or quality issue. I selected it as quality issue. But why is it not getting reflected? Let's
In
wait for
back,
some time. Let's wait for some time. Refresh the record and see. Okay, still, what is the, it is job title. Job title is showing as claim number. Let's wait for some more time. Okay, so it is not updating properly, right? Let's go back to claim. So this is your claim. Okay, let's go to related background process. Is it triggered? 1232. Okay, it only triggered once. It should trigger twice, right? Okay, let's change back again. Okay, now I am changing the contact from Ram to Sai. So type of defect, I'm selecting it as expired. Okay, so let's click on save. I saved it. Immediately I'm going back. So you can see the title, job title has expired. Okay, let's change it to RAM again. So I'm selecting it as, yeah, I want to keep it as expired only. Let's click on save. Let's go to RAM. See, what is the value that I selected there? I selected the value as expired.
expired.
Expired. But job title, what is the job title that you are seeing here?
Damaged.
Damaged. Why is it not updating properly? So let's refresh. Now, when I refresh the record, what happened? Previously, what is the value?
Damage previously.
Now, what is it showing?
Expired.
Expired. Why is it why is it taking some time?
As background workflow due to.
Yes. So we have written, or we created a system workflow and we are running that system workflow in background mode. It is running in background mode. If it is running in background mode, it will take some time. It will take some time to show the result. So if you run your background workflow, it will run, but it will take some time to show the result. So let's convert this workflow into real time. Let's deactivate. Now I deactivated. Convert to a real time workflow. Let's click on convert to real time workflow. Okay, so this is your real time workflow. I converted to real time workflow. Now you can see this option is not checked. This option is not checked. How to convert to a real time workflow or background workflow? There is a button here. If you click on it, it will convert. Now this option is not checked, which means that it is not a background workflow. It is real time workflow. So now let's click on save, activate. Now this will not take time. It will show the result immediately. Okay, so now let's go back to the claim. So now I am changing the contact to Sai Venkat. Sai Venkat. So the type of defect is expired right now. Let's click on save. When I go to Sai Venkat, immediately you can see it is expired. Job title is expired. Now, when I change the contact from Sai Venkat to Venkat, click on save. Immediately you can see the job title has expired. So it will execute immediately and show the result. Let's change it to Alluri. So type of defect is damaged, let's say. Click on save. Immediately it will run and show the result. It will be damaged. So it won't take time. It will run immediately and show the result. Okay, so that is the difference between uh, background workflow and a real-time workflow or synchronous workflow. Okay. See, when you go to administration, right? So here you can set the owner of this particular workflow. Okay, right now, who is the owner of the workflow? So Dharani is the owner of the workflow. Generally, this owner will be the a specific user. Okay, so for all the system workflows, we will keep one user as a owner. Okay. So here you have an option execute as owner of the workflow or the user who made changes to the record. This is also important. What is this option? Execute. Execute this workflow as owner of the workflow or execute this as user who made changes to the workflow. Let's say if I select this, what will happen? This system workflow will run this system workflow will run under the owner context. Who is the owner right now? Dharani. So under Dharani user, this system workflow will run. Let's say if I select execute as user who made changes to the record, then it will not run under owner. Let's say I am changing the record. Okay, so let's say I logged into the system. Let's say I am Sai. I logged into the system. So my user is Sai. Let's say I am making the changes. I am modifying the contact. I am changing it to Sai Venkat, Sai Sita. Let's say click on save. Who made the changes? I made the changes as Sai. So system workflow will run under my context. Okay, if I select this particular option, the user who made changes to the record, then whoever is making the changes, whoever is updating the record under that particular user, a system workflow will be running. Okay, so that's all we have on the system workflows. Okay, in system workflows, we have seen how to create a system workflow. We discussed about the trigger points. We discussed about the different steps like create, update, send email, call actions, stop workflow, all those steps that we have, how to add the conditions. We also have seen the differences between system workflows and synchronous workflows and asynchronous workflows. Okay, so we also have few drawbacks. So what are the drawbacks of system workflows? See here, when I click on add step, you have an option to create a record. You have an option to update a record. Do you have an option to delete a record? Do you have a option to retrieve a record? Do we have those options to
No,
retrieve
no.
a record or delete a record? No. So those are the drawbacks. So using system workflow, you cannot delete the record, you cannot retrieve the record. So if you want to delete or if you want to retrieve the record, you need to go for custom workflow. The next topic is custom workflow. So from custom workflows, you will be dealing with C# code. So from here, from custom, from in custom workflows and plugins, we will be writing the C#.NET code. Okay. So from tomorrow, we will be starting on the custom workflows. Okay. With this, we are done with the system workflows topic. From tomorrow, we'll start on the custom workflows. So from tomorrow onwards, we will be writing few C# lines of code. Okay. So I suggest you to go through the basics of .NET, like what is a class, what is a object, what is a variable. So you have a few syntaxes, right? or few basics of .NET, right? C#.NET. So you can go through so that it will be easy when we are writing the code. Okay, only in custom workflows and plugins and JavaScript we will be writing the code. So I would say that only you have 30 to 40% of coding in CRM, MS CRM. In other topics, right? Like if you take Java, if you take .NET, you will be writing lots and lots of code. But in case of CRM, will not be writing that much code. Okay, only in case of custom workflows, plugins, JS, we will be writing the code. Okay, so with this, I'll just pause it here for today. So in case if you have any open questions, you can ask. Open for questions.
Sir, we have background workflow and real-time workflow. There is
Correct.
option like demand on demand.
On demand workflow. Okay, right.
Sir.
Very good question. See, you using that on demand option, right? Okay, let me show you. Very good question. See, you have an option called on demand. So what is the importance of this? Okay. So let's say you have few records. Okay, let's say you have claims. Let's click on claims. Okay, now I have these claims, right? Now my requirement is I want to set all these claims type of defect to expired. Okay, what is my requirement? I want to set all these claims type of defect to expired. All the claims type of defect should be expired. That is my requirement. I do not want to open each and every record and change the type of defect to expired. Let's say if I have 100 records, how can I do that? I can't do manually, right? So in that case, what you can do, you can create a simple system workflow. Okay, I'll show you. Let's create one simple system workflow. Okay, now I am creating a system workflow. It's taking some time. Okay, now I am giving the name like update type of defect to expired. Okay, I want to change the type of defect to expired for all the claims. So this is workflow entity. I want to run it on claim. So let's click on OK. Okay, this is my system workflow. Okay, this is my system workflow. I am not using any triggers here. So scope, I wanted to set it as organization. See here, I am enabling this option as a on-demand process. Okay, so let's select this on-demand process. Now in this workflow, what I wanted to do, I want to set the type of defect to expired. So click on add step, update record, update record. So I wanted to update the claim. Click on set properties. Type of defect, I wanted to set it as expired. I want to set the type of defect as expired. Let's click on save and close. Now I have this particular system workflow, and in this system workflow, I am updating the claim type of defect to expired. When somebody calls this particular system workflow, it will set the type of defect to expired. See, now I am running it as on-demand process. Okay, let's click on save. Let's click on activate. Now I am activating it. Now it got activated. Okay, so now what I will do, now I have these many records, 15 records. I want to set all these 15 records type of defect to expire. So now what I can do, I can run my system workflow on these 15 records. How can I run my system workflow on these 15 records? Okay, see, you can't run it from here. You can go to advanced find. You can go to settings. You can go to settings See here you have advanced find, right? Option. Click on advanced find. This is advanced find. Okay. So here I am selecting claims. Click on result. Okay. Now I have 17 claims because 2 claims are inactive claims. Let's add type of defect also here. Edit columns. Add columns. I am also adding type of defect. Type of defect. This is type of defect. Let's click on result. So what is the type of defect right now? This is the type of defect. So I have 17 records. See now on these 17 records, I am running my system workflow. I will select all these 17 records. I selected all the claims. Now you have an option here, run workflow. Click on run workflow. So when I click on run workflow, it is showing this system workflow. Update type of defect to expired. This is the system workflow. I declared it as on-demand workflow. Select it, click on add, click OK. Now I am running my system workflow on these 17 records. Now you can see the type of defect will modify it to expired for all the claims. Let's refresh. See if you got change it to expired. See second record also expired. It is taking some time. For all the 17 records, it will change the type of defect to expired. See, all the type of defects got updated to expired. You understood, right? See, why we need to declare any workflow as on demand? Because if you want to update the bulk records, you have the bulk data and you wanted to modify that, modify the information of that particular bulk data. Let's say I have 100 accounts. I want to set those 100 accounts status to active, or I want those 100 accounts status to inactive. Then what you can do, you can select those 100 accounts and you can run a system workflow. In the system workflow, you can declare it as on demand workflow and you can execute. And in the system workflow, you can use the step change status and you can set the status to active or you can set the status to inactive. Basically, on demand workflows will be used to run on bulk data. If you want to update the bulk records information, then we will declare a system workflow as an on demand workflow and we'll run it. Clear?
Sir,
Yeah.
can we use it by through advanced filters? Like we have the uh, go to advanced filter one, sir.
Here,
Yes. Here we'll be having the filter criteria. Is it possible through criteria as well?
you can also add the criteria here. See,
Yes.
you can filter the
Yeah.
records, you can filter the
Uh,
records, and if you want to run only on those records, you can do that. Let's say I want to run it on any particular data. Let's say cost. Cost of the product is greater than, let's say, 1,000 rupees. Okay, I have the filter like this. Let's click on result. So I have only 13 records. Previously, we have 17 records, right? So
mm,
if you want to run your system workflow only on these claims, you can do that. You can select them and run the workflow. Okay, you can also add the filters. Whatever the filters that you are adding here, that will filter the records and show the result. See, I added this filter. Based on this filter, claims got filtered out and it is showing like 13 claims are there with the cost of product as greater than 1,000. Okay, you can also add the filters.
okay.
And null values, no?
Sorry,
Null values. For example, in this context, we have some have values and some are not having values.
type of defect you're saying.
Yes, yes. Previously,
Ah,
you're
right,
before you are activating. So we
correct.
can't uh, uh,
You want to avoid the null values, huh?
Yes.
You can simply type like here, type of defect contains data. You can add this filter. What it will do, it will remove the null records and it will only give the claims which are having type of defect. It might be quality issue or damaged or expired. Contains data means it should have that value.
Some
does
value.
not
Yes.
does not contain means null values. If you only wanted to update the type of defect as null, see, initially it is null. So if you want to change that value from null to expired or null to damaged, you can add the filter. First, to find out the claims which are having null, and you click on result, it will show the null records and run the workflow on them. Right now we do not have, because we set all to expire.
So only the selected records only it will be triggered the workflow.
Correct. So whatever the filters that you are adding it here, so based on that filters, claims will be shown.
So in
Okay.
the advanced find, so only if we select as on demand, then only we can see here the workflow, or any workflow we can see here.
Yes. No. See, we have many workflows, right? We have
Yeah.
many system workflows, but it is only showing one workflow, which is on-demand workflow. So if you declare any system workflow as on-demand workflow, then only it will show here
Okay.
in the advanced file. Otherwise, it will not show. We have many system workflows, but only one workflow is showing up there because we declared it as on-demand.
Okay. So the workflow does it have any input arguments or output arguments?
It depends on you. See, if you want to pass any data from here, see, if you have a custom workflow, there you have input and output parameters. If you have an action, there you have input and output parameters. But to the system workflow, will not have.
Okay.
To
To
the
the
custom, yeah,
child process, I mean child workflow, can we pass the arguments while passing from the
no,
first workflow?
no.
Okay.
I don't think you can pass because see, system workflow or child workflow both are same, right? You are just um, declaring it as a child workflow, but other than that, system workflow and child workflow both are similar, right? So you don't have any option to pass the parameters between the system workflows. But from the system workflow to custom workflow, or from the custom workflow to system workflow, you can pass. That
So
is
the
possible.
output of the first workflow, can we pass the input as the second workflow?
Are you talking about the system workflow?
Yeah, okay. Anyone, customer, system, whatever it
That
may
is
be.
what I'm saying, right? So from the system workflow to custom workflow, you can pass.
Okay.
From custom workflow to system workflow, you can pass. But between the system workflows, not possible.
Okay. Between the customer flow, we can pass.
You cannot call the custom workflows internally. Yeah, see, you cannot call a custom workflow from another custom workflow. Basically, if you want to call a custom workflow, you need to take the help of system workflow. So custom workflows cannot be called independently. So you need to take the help of system workflow. So internally, you cannot call another custom workflow from a specific custom workflow. Okay, so if you want to call a custom workflow, you have to take the help of system workflow only. But inside the system workflow, you can call any number of custom workflows. Okay, okay, clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay then, okay then. If no other questions, I think yeah, Shavya, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So if no other questions, I think we are good to close the call for today. Thanks for joining. We will reconnect tomorrow. See, the call is at 11:30. Okay, so be available at 11:30 sharp, and we will be having the class even in the Saturdays and Sundays.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry
So
for
Okay.
today. I joined late.
no
Uh,
issue, no issue. I don't know like what was the communication that you have, but
no, no,
from
correct, sir.
tomorrow.
But I'm in workstation, so.
No
I
issue.
have MD sir is around me, so that's why I joined it.
Right? So no, we'll be having a class at Sundays. Okay. Okay, then thanks for joining, and we will reconnect tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.